At the old haunted house. At the old haunted house in a room with no sun lived a warty green witch in her wee witchy one. Spell, cried the witch. Poof, cried the one. And they both practiced spells in the room with no sun. At the old haunted house where a cold draft blew lived a big ma monster in her wee monsters too. Stir, called the ma. We stir, cried the two. And they whirred and they stirred while the cold draft blew. By the old haunted house in the dead hollow tree lived a scrawny black cat and her wee kittens three. Scratch, cried the mother. Meow, cried the three, and they scratched and they growled in the dead hollow tree. At the old haunted house with the squeaky floor lived a green paw goblin and his wee goblins four. Dust, called the paw. Wee dust, said the four, and they spread lots of dust on the squeaky old floor. At the old haunted house where the scary things jive lived a ma werewolf and her wee wolfies five. Howl, cried the ma. Arrrr, wailed the five, and they yowled and they howled where the scary things jive. In the old haunted house in a vault made of bricks lived a papa vampire and his little vamps six. Show fangs, papa cried. Hiss, went the six, and they snarled and they shrieked in the vault made of bricks. At the old haunted house, teaching a lesson, was a hairy mom bat and her biddy bats seven. Deep dive, cried the mom. Flip flap, went the seven, and they dipped and they dove in their dip diving lesson. By the old haunted house near the graveyard gate lived a spooky dad ghost and his wee ghosties eight. Haunt, cried the dad. Boo, cried the eight, and they booed and they floated through the graveyard gate. At the old haunted house, half covered with vines, lived a mummy mommy and her wee mummies nine. Mix, called the mommy. Wee mix, called the nine. They stirred and they mixed in the house with the vines. At the old haunted house in the dusty old den lived a fat ma spider in her wee spider's tin. Spin, called the ma. Weave ho, said the tin, and they spun sticky webs in the dusty old den. At the old haunted house, the front door creaked. Trick or treat, yelled the children, and the ghost shrieked, Eek! Come in, called Ma Mummy. The monsters made stew, the mummies made cake, the witches zapped brew. The creatures all grinned as they struck up the band, and the spiders all swung on sticky web strands. The ghosties floated as the music played, black cats scratched and the werewolves bayed. The vampire band played music all night, and they all had fun at the Halloween Fright. If you enjoyed this read aloud, please consider subscribing for more videos in the future, and we thank you for listening.